emergency, but the clerk didn't receive the notice, and so as a result, the clerk is prepared to facilitate remote attendance. That's the reason that the policy's in place, so that we can have this kind of disruption. And as a result, there's a lack of notice. I think the remote participation qualifies.
Okay, so according to this sounds really strong. This sounds strong.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is, you know, that she doesn't qualify for
But she does, because he just, there's a family, no, I'm going by what he said. She just stated that she has a family emergency. That yes, she does have a family emergency. She did communicate with the clerk. Hold on, trustee, let me let you speak for yourself. Trustee Sauk, I have you on speaker. Speak for yourself, please.
Madam Clerk, I advised you when you delivered the package that I was going out of town for a personal business. I don't think I need to reveal to you all my personal business. Unless this is required, I'm here for a funeral.
Okay, she still speaks.
We're not going to go.
I told you I was going on personal business. I didn't tell you what my personal business was.
But you have to disclose, that's according to statute, I sent you the statute.
Okay, we're going to move on, and we're going to move on with the meeting. It should have been done at least an hour before.
This was done last week. And this is the same board meeting. It's no different. Trustee, did you send your letter from the attorney? Do you have that?
No, I don't. This is Trustee Williams.
Okay, we're going to move on.
Trustee Williams is here.
What?
What does you want to say to Trustee Williams?
No, we're going to move on.
No, it's okay.
Thank you.
So can you all let her know yourself that she is able or unable to attend this meeting? So it can be on record. That
If she didn't follow protocol,
she followed protocol. She sent a memo in from her attorney to Madam Clerk. She CC'd the mayor, and she did let the clerk know she was out on personal business, and she is disclosing that she was on personal business, and that's why she couldn't attend the meeting. So she's done all three of those things. She does qualify. She has a letter, she has a memo from the attorney. She's out on personal business. She disclosed that to the Madam Clerk. She CC'd the mayor. Now, if Madam Clerk, she CC'd the mayor, she disclosed it to the clerk. Would you like to ask? They want to know when did you CC the mayor and the clerk?
This is Friday. She delivered the package on Tuesday. She sent the email. So it would have been on Wednesday.
Okay, let the record reflect.
You already sent it because she sent the email saying that it wasn't, that my reason didn't qualify.
And your
And I addressed it with Mike. Mike forwarded an email to her and the mayor for my request. He said
Okay,
it was
well-
still away.
all right, let's move
okay,
on.
let the record show
Let's
that Trustee Sapp did call in. She forwarded email on Wednesday from her attorney. So Madam Clerk and the mayor both have copies of the email stating that she is qualified to attend the meeting. But the mayor nor the clerk will acknowledge the trustee. And according to the mayor and the clerk, you all are saying, for the record, that she is not able to attend. Okay, well, the rest is, this is a public meeting.
That you guys don't follow protocol.
Okay, well, we're not,
Okay, Trustee Sapp,
okay, we're getting ready to start the meeting.
so we will get ready to start the
We're
meeting.
getting ready to start the meeting of the special committee meeting of the corporate authorities. Madam Clerk, would you please call? I'm sorry. Okay, she can stay online. She can vote.
Okay, trustee Burns here, trustee Carter,
Yeah.
trustee Coleman,
Here.
trustee Johnson,
Here.
trustee Sack, trustee Williams.
Here.
Here.
She's called her name, so she said, I have to call her name, so she.
Trustee, please, trustee. Thank you, we're not gonna start this meeting like this. And I appreciate that. I'm not gonna sit here and go back and forth
Listen,
for nobody.
listen, you made your ruling.
Thank you, to let it go.
And so I'm not involved in it anymore. I called her name, she said, here. I don't have nothing to do with her.
Mr. Mayor, can you move forward with the?
I'm trying to. If you look, please mute your phone.
It is.
Thank you. Okay, public comment. All questions and comments will be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may comment on items, agenda items only. Each speaker is allowed one opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes. He may not engage in debate, counter replies, or rebuttals. It's only for agenda items only. I will respond to all questions once public comments have been concluded. When you come up, please state your name.
David Fields.
Mr. Mayor, if I'm out of line, please correct me. But I wanted to make a comment about last Tuesday's meeting.
Just meeting on it.
Excuse me?
Oh, because we're only dealing with items on this agenda.
Okay, all right, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I'll do it for you.
I am Francine Anderson. And Mr. Mayor, I will be addressing the presentation of ordinance and resolutions. Under it, you have the ordinance for abating the tax of general obligations and tax incremented funds under A. And then the obligation of incremented bonds under B. And then under C, you have the adoption of the municipal code regarding hiring procedure and village employees. So, since that is the agenda item for the time, I want to address why the trustees were not present for these same agenda items that was on the agenda for Tuesday. Excuse me, Trustee Johnson and Trustee Carter, because you were present to be available for citizens in doing the business work. But the other 4 were not. And I see that Trustee Coleman, Trustee Williams signed for this call meeting today. So, I would love to know why you were not available on Tuesday, but you can be available on today. The same exact agenda items were present for Tuesday. You decided not to be present 2 Tuesdays in a row. So, Mr. Mayor, I will continue with these agenda items because I think the citizens of Sauk Village really wants to know. Madam Clerk, your acknowledgement of citizens hopefully calling these 4 and encouraging them to be at the meeting today to get the abatement done, I think was excellent. And thank you for encouraging citizens to do some encouragement. But I tell you people want to put blame on others. You ask for the job of the trustee. You sit here at every meeting and tell me that it's your responsibility to handle the money. If the tax abatement is not money, then what is it? You explain it to me. Because guess what you're going to do? When it's your turn to talk, please address me. Because I have an answer for everything that you did not do. And no, you don't even know your own ordinances. So Trustee Sack, who has previously used the same ordinance to be absent during her medical emergency, can't do it right for today. What the heck is going on? Please tell me. She used it for 3 months correctly, but now today you can't use it correctly. I tell you, I got a problem with intelligence here because something is not adding up. But remember, Mr. Mayor, I'm still on topic because I was at that meeting when the 4 said watch and see what we do next. If you think this was something came out of Trustee Sack's mouth and Williams, you said amen. So let's get it real about what you people are really doing with your own agenda.
What else?
David Smith, resident. Regarding the ordinance for hiring procedures and the ordinance, is there an ordinance here on laptops? I don't even see it on here. Okay, so I'll deal with that next meeting. Number one, I just want to point out, obviously, there's a typo. I hope you guys admit this. Please don't pass the same ordinance twice for 2019A. Should have been 2019A and 2019C. Should have technically been caught before it even got to the piece of paper, but you know, I don't necessarily expect full competence. Thank you for your courtesy by speaking while I'm speaking. It's well appreciated. My next question is regarding C, the ordinance regarding hiring procedures for village employees. Has the village attorney looked this over? Has Attorney Boland had an opportunity to review this ordinance, or was it done and provided by the trustees' attorneys? If Attorney Boland or no one from his law firm has looked this over, and this ordinance was written up and provided by the trustees' attorneys, to me, it should be pushed back to allow Attorney Boland or someone from his law firm to review it. We just went through this same issue last week with AIC. Nothing should be passed without being sent through the village. Let me clarify again, the village attorneys. They have been put in position to represent the village. The Special Legislative Council, the trustees' lawyers, are put in position to represent the trustees. Sometimes everybody's agenda is not the same. You may have different interests than the village. Therefore, it is my recommendation, and I don't expect you to follow it, but it is my recommendation that it would be in best interest to let Attorney Boland review this ordinance if he has not already had an opportunity to. And that's it for now.
Jeffrey Burns, represented 25 years. My question is, for the last 8 years, we go through the same thing. I would like to know when the abatement's even supposed to come before the board and when the abatement's supposed to be passed. Because to my knowledge, the abatement's supposed to be done back in December. So when people speak about agenda and people speak about a Tuesday's meeting at the end of May, this item should have been dealt with 6 months ago. Just like last year, the year before, and the year before. So I would like to know who's responsible for the abatements, when the abatement's supposed to come before the board, when does the abatement supposed to be passed and presented. It seems to me that we go through the same thing every year, so when you talk about agenda, the agenda to me seems to just wait till the 13th hour, then try to bring it before the board, and then just get them to vote on anything. That's all for now.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Just a quick, two quick questions. One is, everyone keeps saying that this is Donna Freeman, I'm representing myself as resident of the village of Sauk Village. My first question is, how is it that 4 or 5 or whoever don't show up consistently for meetings with, this is on here, okay, this is in regards to this meeting. In regards to B and C, thank you. When we have to have a special meeting, I'll wait. Yes. It's an ordinance. Yes, ma'am, I'm waiting for you to get the.
Go ahead.
And she's got to do, I want to respect her time. The time, okay. The standpoint is, when we come together to have these meetings and then we have to have a special meeting like today, how is it that we're able to come together today on one accord? Everybody came today on one accord, but Tuesday people could not come. And the concern for the taxpayers. These abatements are very important, and the consideration for the taxpayer and the monies that will come out of our pockets. I'm just asking that as we come together for these meetings, I may not say it the way it's on here, is that we work on one accord for the people of the village. And then my next thing, as far as employment is concerned, when and if we have HR, whatever it is, isn't it normal protocol that procedure is followed by an HR person? They do the background checks, et cetera, and then only an interviewing process is done by any other board member, not the hiring and firing of that person. The dossier Social Security numbers I-9 normally go to a qualified RH person. So I just want clarification on that. I'm trying to make it fast, quick, and intelligent people should be able to decipher.
I'm going to make a quick statement. I hope that everyone here, I'm not sure if you still got trustee Sauk on the line, but could you silence your phone? You have one more. That's all I'm asking. Okay, anyone else? Okay, I cannot answer the question that was asked about why the trustees that work here Tuesday. What's the reason? I don't know that. I can't answer that. Only thing I do know is that the special meeting that was called for today was signed on Tuesday. So they called for this special meeting today, and they signed the affidavit stating that they wanted a special meeting on Friday, but they couldn't make Tuesday. So that's the only observation I can make. The other one was a good question. Was the ordinance given to our corporate authorities for review for the ordinance adopting the municipal code requiring hiring procedures for the village employees? I don't think it was given to our village attorney, and the reason why I'm saying I don't think it was because our procedures for hiring, or it is in our municipal code, it's in our handbook, employee handbook. So everything that's within this is already there, so I didn't see a reason for redundancy. The abatement, and the reason why it was dropped, and I was told, and he's not here to defend himself or here to talk about it, but it was Mr. Durham and their company, Ryan, was the ones that let us know when the abatements are due and ready to be abated. He did drop the ball, but hopefully we'll take care of that care of that today. And as far as come together, I hope, only thing I can say is thank you for saying that, and I hope that we'll see as go, I'll put it this way, I'm gonna be optimistic, we'll see going forward that hopefully we can come together, because if we cannot, this village is not going to move forward. All right, with that being said, we go to the presentation of the ordinances and resolutions. Before we get into that, under 4A, it was an ordinance abating Series 2019A. Okay. And then item 4B, it says the same thing. So, but there are two different ordinances. So the second one should be 2019C. So it'll be two different ordinances that we will be asking the board to abate. I'm going to go into the first one, 2019A. That's an ordinance that first of all, these are bonds that we had. And the reason for 2019, that's when the bond was originally brought in. And the amount for the abatement for that one, for the 2019A, is $358,400. That money is coming out of our TIF. So I don't know, I'm sure everyone here on the board has abated bonds before, so I don't think, I'm not going to insult your intelligence. I think you should already know what the abatement is all about and why do we abate. Oh, I'm sorry, for 2019A, it's $358,400. So, and I'm asking to have that abated, and it will come from the TIF proceeds that's already there, the money is there for that. So I'll move on to the next one. Is there any question on the first?
Yes, Mayor Burgess. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Burgess. You said that you didn't want to insult anyone's intelligence, and I appreciate that. But there are several members of the audience that don't seem to know what an abatement is and what this means. And because of that, I'm asking you to explain to the audience what this abatement is and what it's for. Because of the questions that have been answered, it seems that they need to know what this is. Can you explain it to the residents, please? Thank you.
Okay. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the trustee that asked that, because you've been on the board for over a year, so do you understand, before we go any further, do you understand what abatement is? So can you explain to anyone what it means to abate a bond?
Yes, sir, I can, but the questions are stated as you read. All questions are to be directed to the mayor. And so, yes, and these are it's through the public comment that the questions was asked what the abatements are. So I'm asking if you can explain it to the public that asked the questions. And only the mayor can answer that. Thank you.
No, only the mayor cannot answer that.
The 3 minute,
can you answer that?
That is not my place. The 3 minute comments is to be directed to the mayor.
This is not 3 minutes.
Mayor Burgess.
This is not a 3 minute comment.
There are many members in the audience, several members that has asked about the abatement.
Where they?
You heard what I heard. There's a member that asked what about
can you
Mayor Burgess. The members in the audience asked their mayor what the abatement is, and since this is an urgent, dire need, I'm asking you because you asked if anyone understood, and you didn't want to insult anyone's intelligence. So since you asked, I'm asking for you to answer the question. Now those are your words, not mine.
I understand what my words are. I'm asking.
So it's not for me. The question was directed to the mayor, not me, not the trustee. So I'm just asking.
This is not a question.
I'm asking you to explain.
We're in the discussion.
Mayor Burgess, I'm asking you to explain what this means. because this is a taxpayer situation where if this is not passed, the onus of paying this bill falls directly on the taxpayer. I'm asking our mayor to explain to the taxpayers what this is. That's all. You asked if anyone wanted to know, and I'm asking you to explain it.
No, I asked if anyone wants to, absolutely. And you made the comment that you wanted to know. I'm asking
I
you.
didn't say I wanted to
I'm asking
know.
you,
I did not say I wanted to know.
I'm asking you, do you know what the abatement is?
Mayor Burgess, can you explain what the
I'm
abatement
asking
is?
you a question.
Can our mayor please explain what the abatement is? That's all I'm asking.
And I'm asking you, do you
Mayor
know
Bur-
what it is?
so if I say,
Do you know what an abatement is?
so if I don't, will you help me tonight?
Pardon me?
If I don't know what it is, will you help me out tonight and explain it?
If you don't know what it is, just say you don't know.
Okay, Mayor Burgess, can you please help me out tonight and explain what this tax abatement
So that
is?
means you don't know.
I'm asking you to help me. I'm asking you to explain what this is to help me out tonight. So I'm asking a question. What can you explain what this abatement means? Because the residents of the village wants to know.
Okay. So we're not taking any questions. We're at the part now where we're at the committee meeting where we're explaining what's going to be done at the next meeting and explaining what's done. Pardon me? No, what you say? No, what you say? No, you said I should know what? That's what I'm asking. Did you know? That's all I'm asking you. No, we didn't say. You said.
As residents.
We didn't say. You said.
As residents, we want the mayor to.
Does anyone other than Trustee Burns on this board know what an abatement is? Does any other trustee know what an abatement is before I go to this?
So do we know?
Do you know what an
Yes,
abatement
I do.
is? Trustee Coleman, do you understand what an abatement is? Okay. Trustee Johnson and Trustee Williams, you know, I know you. Okay. All right. Madam Clerk gave me something to read, but I can tell you from what I already know, been doing this for years. And we do it every. You gonna go back and forth? Or we just go? Okay. Every year we go and we abate the bonds. We've had bonds since this village. I don't know. Ever since I've known. And I'm sure there've been before that, where we borrow money on the auspices that we can either get money from another entity or all bonds are backed ultimately by the residents that pay the taxes. So if you own your home, you pay tax, or you pay taxes if you have a business, you're being levied. However, under this particular bond, which is a bond coming from the TIF pays unless the TIF is dissolved, and then you have no more TIF, and then it is levied again on the residents' back. But right now, these bonds that we're talking about, these 219 A and C, are levied from TIF 2 and 3. When we abate them, we're paying it's like a note, a fee, not a fee, but as you get your house note, it's basically we're paying a mortgage payment on the bond. The bond itself is around $40 million. And, but we pay a certain percentage of it every year. Normally, well, I won't say normally, these bonds here come from the TIF, and we have other bonds that are done, and we had bonds, things in 2016, or when we had bonds for other things, and that money is being levied now by the residents. This building here was built under a bond. We at that time got a bond for this, and it was supposed to be paid back from from anything that's being built in the village, anything that anyone put a shovel in the ground and build something, they had to pay a certain percentage, and that's where that money came from. And at that time, we were building things. We had things that were going up in the village. People were actually building, and these are businesses that were actually building. That money that we got from that paid the levy for this particular building. When I came in 2017, and the village at that time was being levied don't quote me, but I think it's $630,000 a year through the residents to pay the bond payment. First thing I did was pay that off, so now this building is free, I won't say free and clear, but we still have to get maintenance done. But the bond to build this was paid off. So these bonds that we're talking about now were bonds that were taken out for infrastructure repairs in TIP 2 and 3. And streets, lights, all the other things that go on. And the payments right now for this is being paid through the TIP payments. So that's what it means by to abate. That means to pay off to pay down the note that are currently on. If you don't make that payment or you miss that deadline, the whole amount of that particular bond falls back on the village residents. Those that are paying taxes. I'll put it that way. Anyone paying taxes, it falls back on them, divided equally throughout all of the properties that we have. As I said before, it's not $3 million, it's more than something like 35 million. So we have to, and then that's going to be paid every year until we pay it off. So that's what abatement means. So this one here, again, for this TIF is paid through the TIF. And the other ones that you pay in, I think it's in the second quarter, it is the second quarter, it's paid, and you pay that on your taxes. You get levied, each and every person gets levied a certain amount, a certain percentage. Basically what your percentage is, what your, if your house is worth more, quite naturally you're gonna be levied more. So that's how that goes. The A and B. All right, the last one is C, adopting a section 2-182 municipal code. I would like to see this one brought to the lawyers, and also I don't think we need it because we do have a ordinance for employees handbook, and that's in this particular part of it. And I read their hiring practices. All that is in there. Everything is in there. So I don't think we need to be redundant with that.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Trustee Williams.
If you look at section A3, in hiring any applicant to fill a position within the village's employee, the village shall tender a conditional offer letter to the respective applicant that states the following: title or position, salary, start date. That offer is contingent upon completion of a mandatory background check. As this particular, and I'm not singling out any in particular person, but this particular employee, when the interview took place, did not know his salary and had already begun starting. So if this is an ordinance that's already in place and you think we're being redundant, what we're trying to say is our ordinance is not being filed. One of the trustees asked if there was a conditional offer letter and if that offer letter showed a salary. And both you and the applicant stated they didn't know what their salary was and that there was no offer letter at that time, and that person had begun starting, was actually in executive session while they were already employed by your appointment. What was added in addition to that, number 5, Upon acceptance of the village's conditional offer and completion of the mandatory background check, the village may require that employees provide a surety bond as set forth in section 2-174 of this code before entering upon the duties of their respective positions. The provision of a surety bond prior to starting employment with the village shall be required for the positions of mayor, village administrator, finance director personnel, including front desk service employees. Documentation or other proof establishing that surety bond was provided must be shown before starting employment. Mr. Mayor, as you yourself know, we had $10,000 taken from the front desk in the front office. We've never heard anything more about it other than the fact that it was stolen. We have not turned that information over to any type of insurance company to recoup the residents' money. We also have allegations that $78,000 was either misappropriated or stolen back in 2020. And somebody within these departments must have had something to do with the missing of that money. So to say that you don't see anything different in this ordinance, Mr. Mayor, we feel that with the finances being the way they are and the missing money and allegation of missing money, that number 5 being added to this is extremely important, and number 3 is not being followed by the village as it's written. And as far as HR vetting out any particular employees, at this time we have no HR. That was done through ordinance. It was vetoed by the mayor, it was overridden by the mayor, and it should be in place. It's not, the ordinance that was put in place is not being respected, but it has taken place, that we do not have HR at this time. So I don't understand why the trustees, when this particular person was called in to be interviewed, we had a 2-paragraph explanation of, hi, my name is, and I like this position, but we knew absolutely nothing about his background. And when asked about his background, we were told you don't need to know that. But I'm sorry, in a person's position as strong as the village administrator, with all that we've been through, I do need to know that somebody with some strength, some knowledge, and some past experience is going to come into this position. I don't know the gentleman at all. I'm not saying that he's not qualified, but it would have been nice if I'd have gotten a better answer than you don't need to know that. So, Mr. Mayor, that's why we're presenting this ordinance. Thank you.
I do have a question, and I hear this a lot. I hear this a lot. When you refer to we, who is we?
The trustees that asked to have this ordinance prepared.
Who prepared?
Our legislative attorney prepared this ordinance. You said who prepared it?
I didn't say, I didn't get finished. Who prepared this agenda?
Who prepared the agenda? One of the trustees asked that it be prepared, and I did the physical preparation.
So you wrote the agenda? And
I prepared the agenda.
Okay,
Yes.
prepared it, you penned it. Okay. My question is, if you guys, or you penned it, and you put these on here, when did you all talk about this?
You know, you always said, Mr. Mayor,
I'm
we have
asking the question. When did,
individually by
usually,
phone.
when I talk about something, I bring it to the board, I bring it to you guys.
Right.
And then we talk about it at committee meeting, and then we vote on that board meeting. I'm asking.
Individually by phone and through our attorney.
Done. Just.
Yeah, and we talked about it at the committee meeting last week.
What committee meeting?
The special meeting that was held last week. We talked about this hiring. Yes, Trustee Burns brought it to the table.
We never got that far. No, we didn't. I adjourned the meeting before that.
I read this out loud. This was presented.
My question is, when you guys put this agenda together to have these items on here, I'm asking, my only question is, how did you come up with, I'm sure one person, how did you come up with this agenda?
Is that a question
I'm
for
asking for.
Trustee?
Okay, you could ask me, and then I'm going to turn it over to Trustee Burns. Trustee Burns took this upon her initiative. Trustee Burns reached out to the legislative attorney to tell what she wanted to change on this particular ordinance. The ordinance was then passed by to each of us individually. I'm not sure if all of them got it, but I know her and I did. And when her and I got it, and I agreed to it, because 2 or more trustees can have an action brought to the table, and I agreed with it, because as I read this, I saw that the village is not even doing what, as you said yourself, we already have an ordinance in place, so why do we need to bring this back to the table? I'm not sure what any other trustees saw, but I know Mr. McGrath copied her and I because she wanted these changes, and I agreed to them. Because it only takes 2 or more trustees to agree to an item to bring it before the table.
Okay, so then you guys talk.
And we can do that, Mr. Mayor.
That's easy.
Okay, and I answered your question.
I just asked the question, did you guys converse or whatever? Who was it that conversed, and you said it was you two?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Okay.
So my question is, if it's just you two, did you discuss this with the other trustees? Because it's 2 out of 6. Did you discuss with the other 4?
This is why it's on the committee meeting agenda right now. Everybody got a copy of it. I didn't.
Okay, so that's
I didn't.
That's an easy question, yes or no?
Yeah, I did not.
Okay.
And that's why it's on the committee agenda prior to the board agenda.
Because my question, like I said, I'm just trying to figure out how did this agenda come about? That's all. Okay. And then my last.
I'm sorry, what was it that I needed to say?
Oh, I was going to turn it over to you if you had to add anything, but
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the way I recall.
Oh, okay.
Trustee Burger, I got an answer.
So,
I got an answer. So you have to go, I'm not going,
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to waste people's time. My last question is on this. And please, as you said before, I'm not trying, I am trying to find out an answer. If our board meeting or our committee meeting, no, it was our board meeting, was on the 28th of May. Why did you sign, the 3 trustees that signed that are here, all 3 of these trustees that are here, why did you sign to have a special meeting on the same day that you had a board meeting?
I'd be glad to answer that question. Because 2 of the items that we requested to be on the board meeting agenda were not on the board meeting agenda, and we felt that it was important that these items be addressed. The only way we can get our items addressed is to call a special meeting. Mr. Mayor, I'm not going to attend a Tuesday meeting.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, because that right there, you just told me that you called a special meeting because your items that you wanted on there weren't on there.
And we've told you that before.
And you chose to boycott that meeting.
You can call it boycott if you want, Mr. Mayor, but the point is, the reason we sent you the notice, we need to have those days for the OMA in order to call a meeting. You're not letting me finish, Mr. Mayor. I didn't cut you off, please. The reason we sent it to you on Tuesday was to let you know in ahead of time that we were not planning on making the meeting on Tuesday, but rather calling a meeting on Friday, because we want our items addressed as well, Mr. Mayor. This is not a dictatorship. We deserve to have, we deserve to have our items recognized as well. You totally disregard our items.
Okay. I just wanted to know
So I hope I made that clear.
why you didn't, because it seems like it's a pattern.
The pattern is, Mr. Mayor, you refuse to recognize the trustees.
If I can't get my way, I'm going to call a meeting. Okay.
You refuse to recognize the trustees, and I wish you would please work with us. As the audience has said, if we work together, we can get things done. But you keep cutting the trustees out of the picture. There's 6 of us and 1 of you, but we don't matter.
I haven't cut you out, but you chose to mess with people's lives when you don't vote for certain items.
You mess with people's lives when you don't put the trustees' agenda items on the
You
agenda.
know something? I'm so sorry.
Well, thank
I'm
you.
going to ask for, since we're going to this part now,
Excuse me, Mr.
I'm
Mayor.
going to ask for an adjournment because we need to go into the next meeting. So this meeting went on long enough. So I'm going to ask for an adjournment.
I think, Mr. Mayor, there are still trustees that have their hands up. Trustee myself and Trustee Johnson.
Trustee, what do you have your hand up on?
That the reason my hand is up for this reason. I'm a trustee of the Village of Sauk Village. I was elected by the people, and by state statutes, trustees can call a meeting anytime they need to. We do not have to have an explanation. We do not have to explain ourselves. We do not need your, Mayor, you do not have to explain ourselves. We explain ourselves through committee. We did just that. the meeting that we as a body had to explain this ordinance that's being discussed today and adopted today was done in committee. Every single item that we, the trustees or the mayor, put on this agenda is first discussed publicly in committee. There is no other type of discussion that you want to keep putting out there. The only discussion that we have concerning items that go on this agenda is through committee. And we have discussed everything that we as trustees bring forth and you as the mayor bring forth. We discuss it in committee. So if Trustee Williams knows something, or any trustee, yourself or this clerk, they know it because it's been discussed in committee. We are at a board meeting. We are at a special committee meeting, and these things are already discussed. So I would appreciate if you would stop asking me who I have spoken to when I sit here every week, every 2 weeks in a committee that we must prepare through attorneys, the business of this village. So please, sir, quit asking me, how did I come to the conclusion? I came to the conclusion from discussing these matters in committee and listening to what everyone's ideas, everyone's suggestions. I write them down like I'm doing tonight on a piece of paper, and then we can take it to the attorney. So the only discussion that's ever gone on is in committee. And I want to make that very clear because you seem to think that some other discussions are going on, and I don't understand why you as the mayor of 8 years, a trustee of 16 or 13 years, a total of 22 years, that you don't understand that we discuss everything through committee. So why would you put any other narrative out there except we have 2 committee meetings a month, and everything on these agendas, they can't even be here at this board meeting unless they're discussed through committee.
Are you done?
No, I'm not done. Because I need you to be done with consistently asking me as a trustee, how do I know, how do we know what's what? I know it through committee. And that is all I'm going to ever speak on that again. We have committee meetings and we discuss our business.
Okay.
All of us, including you.
All right. Trustee Johnson, you have something to say?
I just wanted to clear something up. When we went to executive session that day, I could have swore it was stated that this was not an interview. Was that, am I right about that?
Yes.
When we went
It
into,
was
I would like to ask you, and the person said she
introduction.
holds the record.
It was an introduction.
It was right. I could have swore you stated that it was an introduction. It
Yes.
was not stated that this was supposed to be an interview
Correct.
of that individual.
Correct.
So I would hope that we would stop, this is the second time I heard that this was an interview. It was not an interview. I don't know why the rest of the board keeps stating that that was an interview in executive session, because it's on record that it was not.
Mr. Mayor, may I address that? Thank you, thank you. Mr. Mayor, you're right, that was not an interview. You're right.
No, I said
You're
no.
right, it was not an
I
interview.
said
We don't
no.
have the courtesy
You asked
of being
me, I
able to
said
interview
no.
a
We're
VA.
not going back
You
and
just
forth.
get it crammed down
We're
our
not
throat.
going back
You
and forth.
can slam
We're
that
not
down on me
going back
all
and
you
forth.
want,
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Trustee Johnson.
Mr. Dictator.
Please finish what you have to say, Trustee Johnson.
Interview or not,
We're not going back and forth. I've asked you. You had your time to talk. You had your time to talk. Just because somebody says something now, you want to blurt out again because why? You're supposed to be having everything is, everybody's upset now. I'm not doing that. We're not going back and forth. Thank you. Trustee Johnson, you said you had something. You finished what you said.
I'm almost done.
Okay.
I'm so sorry to that individual that has to keep hearing that it was an interview, and I know that it was not an interview, so I apologize to you. And another thing, I don't know why I keep saying we as a board, when y'all not including me and Trustee Carter in any of your discussions, any of your paperwork is not getting disseminated down to us at all. So if y'all tell me it's a board, this is supposed to be a board of 6, not a board of 4. So, in the meanwhile, I appreciate if y'all can let us know what's going on and get our opinion when y'all want to draw up ordinances like this that's going through legislative, which technically is supposed to go through our corporate attorney.
Excuse me, when you all talk, I ain't hear nobody talk.
Right, I didn't
I
interrupt
didn't hear
you.
nobody talk. But now
I
they're talking and you want to have something to say. I'm not recognizing, I am not
I'm not saying
recognizing
anything.
anything.
I'm not saying,
Did you have something to say? Are you through trustee?
I'm not,
Oh,
I'm sorry,
go
I'm
ahead.
so denied. Our ordinance and resolutions are supposed to be drawn up from our corporate council. I'm smart enough to know that. Why is it that I'm seeing ordinances that's being drawn up from our legislative council? I thought we had that cleared up when we had a committee in a whole meeting. So, can I ask the corporate council, am I correct on what I'm stating right now?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Right, so the legislative council's role is advisory, and it says in the village code, they're not supposed to usurp the role of the village attorney. Customarily, the village attorney is drafting ordinances. I'm available to collaborate and work with legislative council on ordinances. I did not have the opportunity to review these ordinances before they appeared on an agenda, but always available to collaborate with legislative council and produce, hopefully, a better work product for the benefit of everyone. Thank you.
So another question for the council. Have legislative council been, just like you said, working along with you to draw this up? Or even consulting with your firm?
Mayor, I did not hear about these ordinances before they appeared on an agenda.
Okay.
Thank you, that's a problem to me if I'm supposed to be a trustee on this board.
Okay.
I have a problem with that, Mr. Mayor.
excuse me, Mayor Burgess, I have one.
I'm not
Well,
recognizing.
I need to ask the attorney a
Trustee,
question. Okay, well, I'm just, Mayor Burgess, why aren't you now, you listen.
No, I'm not.
Mayor
I'm
Burgess.
not recognizing you.
You're not recognizing me?
I am not.
Why?
Because you don't listen.
I'm sitting
You
here
don't
in a
respect, no,
meeting.
you don't. Someone talking about
Mayor Burgess,
You talk
are
four
you,
times.
I have
You
not
have
talked
to-
about 4 times. You asked me a question, and I asked you
I had
back.
the floor.
Huh?
I thought I still had the floor.
I'm asking you, are you done?
I'm done now. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, don't feel good. Mr. Mayor, I have a question for attorney. I have a question for legislative, for council. I have a question for corporate counsel.
You just want to run and.
I have
and take
a
whatever-
question for corporate counsel.
Please ask.
Thank you so much. I want to make it very clean, very plain. I'm not quite sure what Trustee Johnson is speaking of, but we, as me, myself personally, and every other trustee up here, have introduced and have shared with Trustee Johnson every single thing that we've done through committee.
That's not.
Through committee. I do not have conversations with Breaking Open Meetings Act, so I make sure that I address everything through committee. So Trustee Johnson and every one of these trustees are sitting here just like I am every single committee meeting. She got the ordinance on last week. She got it in her mailbox. This is not a new ordinance, it is an amended ordinance. So corporate counsel and legislative counsel have both already viewed this ordinance. And the mayor himself acknowledged that this is an ordinance that's already in standing. So this is not a new ordinance, this is nothing brand new, this is something that has just been amended. That is it. And Trustee Johnson was sitting in these very seats last week when this ordinance was brought to the table, when this ordinance was read. And she also received a copy of this ordinance in her village mailbox. So for Trustee Johnson to sit up here and say that she is not included from the other 4 trustees of what is going on in this village is not truthful. She's in the same meetings we're in, and she's explained, so if she's not listening, that is not the responsibility of anyone else to make her listen. But she is in committee when every single thing, she accused us of not sharing information with her. That is absolutely erroneous. We share information with every trustee, the mayor and the clerk and the residents. And she gets her information just the same as I do through committee. So please do not tell no lie on me that I don't share information with you when everything you know in these documents come from me speaking to you and sharing it with you through committee. I'm not something that anyone say that I don't share information. But I share every week information with all of my fellow trustees. Every week in committee. No, that ain't how you do that. No, you have to take. I'm no diatribe. I am making a very serious correction. Now, we have to take a roll call. We have not motioned from this board. I don't motion. We have not voted and we're supposed to vote. Well, then I'm not supposed to be quiet. You're supposed to follow the rules, sir. You want everyone to follow the rules, but you don't want to follow the rules. Oh my God, yes it is. Where's the word of people? Where are the audits? Talk about that. What's the state of our village finances?
I would love to know where's the state of anything.
Well, then ask your mayor, because something is wrong. So we have a bunch of people who don't care nothing about the finance. You don't care about the accounting. You don't care that you are paying people hundreds of thousands of dollars to do absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So let me say something. I am a trustee. And when you are ready to handle this office and this responsibility, you run a trustee. Or you run a mayor. Because I can tell you something. You have no privy to my business. Like you're under knowledge of all your
I don't know what she's doing it because she's doing it to me. It don't matter because I ain't coming to work. But it was funny. Hilarious. Hilarious. Full of jokes. Full of craziness.
People have an opportunity to run for office and don't do it because they're lazy. They don't want the responsibility, and then they got the nerve to get up and try to talk about somebody who took the energy, the effort, the time, and the persistence to do what it took to be in this seat. So if you want to be in this seat, do what it takes to be in this seat. Other than that, when I'm doing my business, mind your own. Sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. I'm not sweeping now. If you want to do this job, run for office. Run for office, ma'am. You got a couple of months. Get your stuff together and run for office. Come on. I'm encouraging to do that. I'm encouraging all of our citizens to run for public office. All of you, that would be an excellent idea. Excellent. That would be an excellent idea. So I encourage you, in April, make sure you're on that ballot. Make sure you're on that ballot, girl. Girl, you better make sure you're on that ballot. Be on that ballot, young lady. Be on that ballot. Be on that ballot. So you can change. Be on that ballot, lady. Girl, my grass is nice. Be on that ballot. That's all I got. Be on that ballot. My house is nice. Oh, there's a whole lot of folks got a whole lot to say until you have to do the job.
knows we want to be in the city and help our village move to the next level. Thank you so much for your participation.
I love to be encouraged. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're so welcome.
Although when y'all going to go.
You are so welcome. I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I wouldn't know that from my
Good
next
conversation.
They
Thank
want
you.
to know
Good conversation.
all the other people's background.
Good conversation.
The trustees' background. Mhm. Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, we're going to call the special board meeting to order. Would you please stand for pledge allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Not saying yes.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Burns. Here. Trustee Carter.
Here.
Trustee Johnson.
Here.
Trustee Sack. Trustee Williams.
Here.
Okay, public comments. All questions and comments will be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may comment on agenda items only. Each speaker is allowed one opportunity to speak for 3 minutes and may not engage in debate, counter replies, or rebuttals. I will respond to all questions once all public comments have been concluded. Please state your name when you come up to the mic.
It's no problem. And anybody coming behind me can revoke and say whatever they want to say. Mr. Mayor, oh, I'm sorry. No? I'm Francine Anderson, and Mr. Mayor, of course, my thoughts are comments, and you will not have to address anything, I don't think. At the end of the last meeting, Trustee Burns, I'm glad you finally got yourself together. I'll take a minute for the acknowledgement and thank you for the encouragement that you have given to me personally. I appreciate that.
Just your comments to the mayor, ma'am.
I did. I said, Mr. Mayor,
You call my name.
I did call your name. Okay, can I get my time back? Because you sure doing back and forth here. I ain't got no time for that.
If you come here, we're gonna have a conversation, so address your comments to the mayor.
Mr. Mayor,
Follow instructions.
I will tell you again that I was saying to Trustee Burns, since she don't hear well, and maybe she needs a hearing aid, so maybe I will trust. Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Let's go.
I am Francine Anderson, and Mr. Mayor, like I was saying, I have a comment, and my comment do include Trustee Burns, and she can answer on her time to talk, and not on my 3 minutes. But what I said before, Mr. Mayor, was that at the end of the previous meeting, I thanked Trustee Burns for her encouragement and motivation for me to run for an office. She saw that as being offensive. So I don't even know if I need to say anything else. But I will go back to what my concern is, that your trustees tend to continue to call special meetings for things that could be on the general agenda. I heard Trustee Williams say that you would not put the things on the agenda. But I also heard Trustee Burns say that you all talk about everything at the committee meetings. But when you talk about it at the committee meeting, that's not an ordinance put in front of me for me to vote. That's because you go back to your legislative attorney and have him write whatever you want him to write, however you want him to write it. Oh, but that ain't nothing new, because Trustee Williams has a relationship with McGrath, because Mr. McGrath was also the attorney in 2019 when these bonds were pulled and made, and Trustee Williams came into office with Mayor Lewis Town. So yeah, Trustee Williams, since you're saying that this kind of monopoly and clowning has happened before, it has never happened at this level of discontentment, disrespect for the audience and others. Or remember, you are just the legislative part of this village government. We are ran by executors as well. You can't take away the mayor's power, although you wish and think you could. But continue, because all of Sauk Village isn't fooled by what you represent when you talk, and when you overdoing, and when you yelling, and you screaming. But remember, all of Sauk Village is watching, and all of Sauk Village will be voting. And remember, part of Sauk Village that don't come to these meetings and make anything known have their own opinions, their own thoughts, and they will be heard. And you all continue with this discontentment and this total disrespect for this audience. I think the FBI need to come and find out why you are having so many called meetings, and why you three people, you three people, if you're calling them, call them. I was glad to have them come so they can look up some of the stuff. And please, I hope that you get those laptops, because guess what? I'm going to FOIA every week, whatever you type on it, because it will be public information.
I was just told, and it is true, we're on, this is a special meeting, and we're referencing just what's on the agenda. Okay. Okay, I just said it just to say, go ahead,
I'll wait for the clerk to do it. You ready? I'm ready. I'm tired. You ready? Okay. I'm with you. Okay, Reverend Donna Freeman here to reference the agenda and the process and a question in the process of delivery. What do I mean? I'm trying to. This is overwhelming this evening. Real quick, what I am requesting as a villager is to please look at these items, these abatements, because this discord affects us as the village. So if we can stay focused on the people of this village, everybody, that would be really good. The other thing, I do have a question in the delivery because this was brought up. It is my understanding that a post box belongs to the United States Postal Service. And that and to the person that owns it. Doesn't matter what the state says, it doesn't matter what the village says, it matters what the United States Post Office says. And the United States Post Office, my understanding, and maybe the lawyer that my taxes go to, maybe he can answer some of this, and I can feel like the lawyers are helping us too. My understanding is no one is supposed to put anything in a post box unless it is the federal post office. When I worked for the federal government, we could not even open a post box to put in mail that belonged to another branch of federal government. And so I was just wondering if we could clarify if the village is supposed to be hand delivering and putting in the post box, because last thing we need right now is another lawsuit. That's my only question. Thank y'all, and have some peace and some love and compassion. That is my comment on behalf of those that live in this village.
I don't know, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this one, but Vicki Jacobich, I'm a little confused. So you're allowed to stop when her mic when she's talking, so nothing from this meeting, the first meeting that we had, got resolved. So now we go to the second meeting. So that's just my question. I'm just really confused. So that's just my question. I mean, I don't know.
David Smith, resident. First and foremost, regarding the public comment at special meetings, since it's on the agenda, I just want to remind everyone that's calling these special meetings, specifically 3 to 4 people, you are limiting our capability as residents to comment on certain items that we see, that we notice in and around the village, because now we're only limited to speaking on agenda items. Several times, you'll hear residents come in and make reference to different things that happen throughout the village. They give addresses and locations and point out different things that you may not be aware of, the mayor may not be aware of, whoever. So I just want to remind you of that, because you're not keeping us, you're not allowing us to speak on everything truly that sometimes public comment is meant for. Part 2, regarding the laptops. You guys have said you're not going to spend another dollar and we don't have money for budgets and this and that. Who is going to pay for this money? Where does it come from? What line item does it come from? What department is it being spent from? I'm concerned about that. Also regarding the laptops, like last week I was told you want to eliminate paper. Okay, that's fine. But you guys are acting prematurely, asking for laptops without changing the policy and procedure that the clerk has for distributing information. So that's kind of premature, and we can give you laptops tonight. Still not going to change the paper that you have. So you may want to reconsider some of that. Also, again, speaking on the ordinance about hiring, it's just my opinion. If you guys don't want to come off as contradictory, you may want to allow Attorney Boland or someone from his law firm to review this ordinance, because again, your counsel has been put in place for you guys. Mr. Boland and everyone from his firm, they're here for us. So, you know, you wanted them to look it over when it came to AIC, but now it seems like you're going to just pass something that he has never looked at. Finally, also regarding the HR ordinance, it's interesting, last meeting, Trustee Burns stated that Trustee Carter, Trustee Johnson are informed at the committee meetings. But it would have been nice if they had time to give some insight or input to the ordinance that was being drafted, so by the time it came to committee and then they were given an opportunity to give their insight or input to it, it wouldn't have to go back and be amended. Because now, you got to double back and pay the lawyer twice. I would like to hope that that's not your intention, to pay the lawyer twice, but, you know, I don't know. Regardless, it's just my opinion. You don't want to come off as contradictory. That can wait a week. Give the man an opportunity to do his job, seeing as how he's here. And that's it.
Jeffrey Burns, resident 25 years. I will again keep encouraging each and every one of you trustees to continue to do your job. For those who think they can do your job better than you, I encourage our public to run for government so they can get clarity on how government runs. They can get clarity on how being a trustee, what that's like. They can find out what the power of a trustee is. They will understand the disrespect when they're being interrupted, when they have the floor. I've heard people overstep their positions. So as a person who's been a government employee for over 23 years, government officials can deliver to other government officials by their mailbox. They're federal employees. It's in the state statute, you can look it up. You're gonna take my word for it. Also, the committee meeting is designed just for what it's designed for any trustee to bring forth any legislation that they want to bring forth, for it can be discussed by the trustees, who is the legislation council, and the name, like legislation, means to bring forth legislation, an ordinance, a bill. That's what it means. So if you don't understand what that means, you can look up what legislation council means. Also, if people are concerned about a laptop and wonder where the money is going to come from, again, why is the mayor keep trying to pay someone who has not been an employee of this village for over a year, trying to pay her over $72,000? Because that department has been eliminated. Also, the name was mentioned that any company on payroll, accounts payable, correct me if I'm wrong, if the company is on accounts payable, that name can be mentioned. So Miss Douglas is doing business in her name, so her name can be mentioned. And if our village is in court with Miss Douglas, why is she still being put on accounts payable? Somebody answer me that one.
Yeah, I was told that, we need to stick to agenda items only because this is an agenda item only meeting. But we had people come up twice to address items that were not on the agenda. So from here going forth, I will address it a little bit more steadily. I did explain what an abatement is. I need to find out, and this is what I'm going to ask our attorney right now, because I did make this statement last. I answered it happened last week, Mr. Bowman, and it's happened before. And I just wanted to find out if we can get it, because I made a statement saying that, because I was told, this is back when we campaigned, that you can't put anything in a mailbox unless it had a stamp on it. So then, at one of the meetings we had, trustee told me that the village can in fact put something in the mailboxes and did not have to have a stamp, and it's not against the law. So if you need to research that, or if you can answer that right now so we can clarify that, because no, I didn't say yet, I said if he has to. So I'm asking you for your professional opinion on that.
Thanks for the opportunity to respond, Mayor. I would have to look into the answer to that question. I don't know it off the top of my head.
Okay, because I want to make sure that when you bring it back,
Yeah.
so we can clarify this with the And if you can bring it back in writing so we can disseminate that to the trustees.
Thank you.
Thank you. The first meeting, someone mentioned about the first meeting, was just a committee meeting, it was just a meeting for information. So there was no action taken. However, at the second meeting, this is called the special board meeting. The other one was a special committee meeting. This is a special board meeting, and action, and it's on their action to be taken. So we will be voting on certain items, AP and abatements and things of that nature. So this is what we're going to do now if we get to that point. Everything else seems to me like it was a comment, so I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to move forward with the meeting itself. We have presentation of ordinances. Oh, again, on this one also, on the 5A, it has series 2019A, and 5B, it should be 2019C. So 5A was 2019A, and 5B would be 2019C. No, we have to abate. I'm sorry, I'm asking, yes, I'm sorry, yes. It should be 2019A.
You like the same agenda? You've got 5, is it 4 or 5?
Item 5A states that ordinance abating the tax for general obligations, tax increment bonds, series 2019A.
Just 6 o'clock.
Of the Village of Sauk.
Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Yes, I just wanted to reiterate, I apologize for the error, for the Scrivener error. I was gonna bring that to your attention before the audience did.
Okay.
That is my fault, and I will accept
Okay.
responsibility for that. It's a Scrivener error, you should be safe.
Everyone know that.
Thank you.
Okay. And then someone said 6 o'clock, it was supposed to be 6 o'clock.
Yes.
The other meeting was supposed to be from 5:45 to 6, but now it's 7:15.
So since we're asking to amend, part B, to change it to C, are we going to vote for the amendment?
No, I'm just saying.
Change it to C?
Okay. Mr. Ball.
Mayor, I think this is a kind of scrivener's error. All that's required is that the agenda describe the general subject matter of the ordinance. I think that's been done here, and I think you're,
Right.
so as long as you announce what you're voting on before you vote on it, I think that's gonna satisfy.
Yeah, I don't think you need to vote on it. Not for that part.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm asking you for a motion for ordinance. If someone got their phone. I'm asking for a motion to abate an ordinance abating the tax for general obligation tax increment by alternative revenue source, series 2019A of the Village of Sauk Village, Cook County, Illinois.
So move.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Johnson, second by trustee Williams. Any questions? Madam Clerk.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Sack? Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Burns? Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, I'll ask for a motion to abate, ordinance abating a tax for general obligation bonds, tax increment bonds, series 2019C of the Village of Sauk Village, Cook County, Illinois.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Johnson, second by trustee, is it Coleman? Okay. Second by trustee Coleman. Any questions? Madam Clerk.
Trustee Coleman?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Sack? Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Burns? Yes. Trustee Carter?
Yes. Motion carried. Item C, I'm asking you to have that table until our attorneys have a chance to really look over this procedure, as I stated before. So I'm asking to have that table. I'll ask for a motion.
So moved.
Second. It was moved by trustee Johnson, second by trustee Carter. Any questions? Madam Clerk.
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
trustee Sack, trustee Williams,
No.
trustee Burns. No. Trustee Carter,
Yes.
trustee Coleman,
No.
Okay, I have, trustee, I'm sorry, Coleman, I'm sorry, Attorney Bowles.
Never mind, go ahead, Mayor.
Do I?
So, Mayor, the rule,
If you want people to respect you, if you want people to respect you, don't sit up and say no.
the attorney is speaking.
No, he was speaking, you can talk. Go ahead, trustee, attorney.
so Mayor, the rule that I was looking at is the rule when the mayor votes. And the rule is where 1/2 of the alderpersons, or trustees in this case, have voted in favor of an ordinance, resolution, or motion, even though there is no tie vote, the mayor gets to vote. Here it was 3-2, not in favor of the motion. It was only 2 votes in favor of the motion, so the mayor doesn't get to vote.
You said he doesn't, right?
Not in that case.
All right. One day, trustee Burns, one day, I would hope that once, when I.
Attorney Bowling, Mr. Mayor, gave you 2 votes before, and we're not gonna play that game today. Before, he gave you 2 votes.
Voted and then you had to break the tie. That is illegal. And I'm here to let the attorney know he was illegal. To give you 2 votes at one sitting. That is illegal. It is illegal. You did it before. He told you to vote and then you broke the tie. And we're not gonna play that game. Yes, it did. We're not gonna have, you're asking this attorney.
You're one trustee.
Mayor, you just asked the attorney if you can vote and you know better. You know better. You just asked this attorney if you can vote and you know you can. So don't play games with us. You just asked this attorney, can you vote? No, you can't, because you know better. You've been in corporate. You just asked this attorney, can you vote? You know you can't vote. So stop it. Stop that. You cannot vote.
Then shut up then. Be quiet, be quiet. Be quiet. Go ahead, Mr. Bowles.
Just for, sorry, get some feedback. Mayor,
I'm gonna ask that question in a minute. Go ahead. What you get
just
ready?
as a point of clarification, there are 3 times when the mayor votes. When there is a tie, or the vote of the trustees has resulted in a tie. When 1/2 of the trustees have voted in favor of an ordinance, resolution, or motion, even though there is no tie vote, or when a vote of greater than a majority of the corporate authorities is required. So there are 3 times when the mayor votes, and I just wanted to clarify that for everyone's benefit.
Thank you. I have a question for you, sir. And it's become, I didn't want to ask this question, but it's becoming quite evident. At what point can a person that's an elected official be censored? In other words, if they continue to keep disrupting the meeting, not listening, calling people out, calling residents out, at what point can you look at that for me to find out at what point can a person be censored? Because it was done before, I forgot what year it was, but it was done before to a trustee also, that did not want to conform, that blurted out, talked around, or whatever the case may be, that person was censored for a certain period of time. I just want to know, put it in writing, that's something I'm going to ask you in front of everybody to find out what can be done, because I'm tired of asking a person to stop blurting out, stop being disrespectful, stop just doing what you want to do and say what you want to say and just comment on anything you want to comment on. So I'm just asking you, as our corporate authority, to, what is it that we can do? And I know it can be done because it has been done. Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
So I'm going to move forward.
We're still in discussion.
I'm going to move forward to the next item.
Excuse me, we're in motion and we're in discussion. And we're in discussion. Sorry.
There was a motion to table.
Yes, and that motion was failed.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I'm getting ready to do. Thank you. I'm just saying we're gonna move forward. Okay. So that motion to table was failed. So now there's a ordinance on the table for hiring, and I've asked to have this looked at. So I don't even want to entertain it because, as I stated before, we have this in our records right now. So.
Mr. Mayor, you're calling this to a vote, right?
No, I'm not.
Mr. Mayor.
No, I'm not. I mean, you
It's
asked.
an agenda item, Mr. Mayor.
He doesn't have to recognize it.
Mr. Boland, this item is on the agenda, the mayor is not going to recognize it.
He doesn't have to.
And he doesn't have to. And again, audience, this is what we're trying to say. Disregard the trustees all the time.
No, it's not disregard. I said the reason why I wanted to put a table. I just said I wasn't going to move. I said I wanted the table until our attorneys had a chance to look at it.
Mr. Boland, would you please put in writing how you feel the legislative attorney is not able to prepare ordinances? They've been doing it for well over, I don't know, 2-3 years now. Could you please put that in writing and share it with Mr. McGrath so he can rebuttal that? Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee.
From what my understanding was, at the agreements, before I got elected, and I was at the meeting when y'all hired the legislative council, that it was an agreement that they was not supposed to be taking over the position of the corporate council. They was just to advise the trustees, not draw up, again, ordinances and resolutions. What part of that don't this board understand? Respect the corporate council.
We'll see you next week.
Excuse me, Mayor. I would like to speak. The Legislative Council, Attorney McGrath was just here last week. And Attorney McGrath made it very clear that the Trustees Legislative Council can draw up ordinances. So what is it that some of these trustees up here don't understand?
I understand.
Trustee McGrath, Trustee Boland, and every attorney on the planet Earth know that every one of these attorneys, you're interrupting. What you tell them? See, you tell me you want me to do it, but you do it. So we do it because you do it. So if you do it, then please don't say for us not to do it. Again, Attorney McGrath just spoke in the meeting last week that the legislative attorney is able to draw up ordinances. He's a legislative attorney. He's not just here to advise us. He's here to work on behalf of legislation. And we are the legislators in this village. We create the laws and we draw up the laws. We are the laws makers in this village. We are. Trustees are the ones who write law.
No.
We are the writers of the laws. That's the reason why we trustees, you need to understand what a trustee is. Trustees write laws. That's what ordinances are. They're the law of the village. And Attorney McGrath made it very clear that he is able and he does and is a part of his responsibilities to write ordinances on behalf of the trustees.
Trustee, okay, thank you. That's it.
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee, we're not going to go back and forth on this, but go ahead. Last time, go ahead, because you only get 2 times to respond. Trustee, I'm sorry, Mr. Bull.
Mayor,
Yes.
as I said before, the legislative council's role is advisory,
Thank you.
and it says in the village code
Yes,
that they're
it
not
does.
to usurp the role of the village attorney.
Yes,
The
it
village
does.
attorney writes ordinances, and I'm happy to look and work with legislative council and support ordinances that they might have in mind, and collaborate and produce ordinances for the trustees and yourself to review. But the village code itself limits the role of legislative council to an advisory role.
Yes. I always thought that's
So trustee, you was wrong.
Okay, we're not, trustee.
No, I wasn't wrong.
Yes, you was.
No, I was not wrong.
You was not.
Don't you speak to me. She spoke to me first.
We're gonna move forward.
I'm not trying to hear you.
We're gonna.
Ms. Long,
I'm talking about her.
Okay, I'm
Because she brought her out. Y'all this double-minded stuff. I ain't trying to hear that.
Girl back.
Girl back.
you're slow.
Girl back.
Everybody know it.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Not my problem.
Mayor Coleman, move forward, please, sir.
I'm trying to, but you won't let me.
Don't you talk to me, you talk to her. Because I'm not the one that spoke, sir. I am not the one that spoke. Address the speaker. Address the speaker. Do not speak to me, Mayor Burgess, if I'm not the speaker. Speak to the speaker, not me. I was going to mind my business. Speak to the speaker. Mayor Burgess. Mayor Burgess. Mayor Burgess. What is wrong with you, sir? Speak to the speaker. Don't tell me what I need to speak to the speaker. Speak to the speaker. Speak to the speaker. You can't do that.
Yes, I just did.
There she goes speaking again.
Yup, I am.
There she goes again.
You're slow.
Okay,
There she goes again.
And that's why he's not gonna recognize you.
There she goes
Deal with
again.
it.
There she goes again.
Yes.
Okay, what we're going to do
Because I have
now,
knowledge.
and we're gonna conclude romper room. And so now what we're gonna do now is, I've already stated that I won't bring this ordinance, I won't, bring this ordinance to the village. So that's just my opinion. And I said why. So I guess, you just got to tell me you won't speak to me. Please keep your word. Keep your word. Don't speak to me. Then I'll just look. Come to the party. Okay. We'll see about that. Okay. That's correct. Financial matters. I'll ask for a motion to approve payroll, accounts payable distributions in the combined amount of $598,181.93.
So move.
Second. It was moved by trustee Johnson, second by trustee Carter. Which one? This one? Madam Clerk, please.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah, I did ask. Okay, you have a comment?
I did.
Okay, yes, I said you.
Okay, all right. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to amend the accounts payable and payroll disbursements in the amount of $525,966.93 by removing from the
Hold
following
on,
line
could you go back and
items.
say what you said, 525?
Well, it's all been, I gave a copy of it to the clerk.
Could you repeat it slower though? For all of us?
I would like to amend accounts payable.
I didn't get one.
I didn't do one either.
This is all, okay.
I just need to write it down. Okay, why didn't you get, I didn't get it.
Trustees, I developed a special document to deal with amendments, which, according to law, can be done. Trustee Coleman honored my asking him to put his amendments in writing because he typically, just as you all just noticed, and this is no harm, he talks quite fast. And it's sort of difficult to keep up. So I created a form. He adapted it to his liking, and he gives me that to go along with my minutes so that I can record the correct way. So that's what's happening.
Also, if I might add, Mr. Mayor, the copy is with Madam Clerk, who is the record keeper. So if anyone who wants records or copies of it can very well get it from her, because it's not an official document, it's just a document of statement.
Okay, but the reason why I was asking, if I'm asking for a motion and I need to write it down, I do need a copy so I can.
Okay, well then I'll make you a copy of
Okay,
it.
that's what I got it now, okay, in the future, yes. Okay.
All right, now, may I proceed?
Go ahead, just
May I
say,
proceed?
yeah, go ahead and finish.
Right. Mr. Mayor, I would like to amend accounts payable and payroll disbursements in the amount of $525,966.93 by removing from the following line items. Line item number 100005726,000. Invoices 2167 through and including 2220. Dates April 21st, 2023 through and including May 3rd, 2024 respectively, in the total amount of $72,215.
That's a motion. That's a motion to amend.
Yes.
That's it, second.
Something I want to discuss with the accounts
We have a
payable.
motion on the floor.
You gotta make, are you removing something? You gotta-
Yes.
We also have a motion, okay, so we have a motion on the floor for this.
And we have a motion
Okay,
for
I need a second on that.
Second.
Okay. It was moved by trustee Coleman, second by trustee Williams, to amend the accounts payable to exclude $72,215, bringing it down to $525,966.93. Is there any other questions?
Yes, I also want to ask about Robertson Engineering Ltd.
We have a motion on the floor, so are you asking about, are you amending? Are you amending, because right now there's an amendment on the floor.
You asking if there are any questions?
No, I'm asking for the question for the amendment that's on the floor, the motion that's on the floor.
No, I have any questions.
Okay, that's what we're doing, we gotta take care of that first.
Okay.
All right. What did I say first? Second by trustee Williams? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Burns? Yes. Trustee Carter?
No.
Trustee Coleman?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
No.
Trustee Sack?
Motion is carried. All right, okay, trustee.
Mayor, the vote was 3-2.
Yes, it is.
So one half of the trustees voted in favor of the motion, and there wasn't a tie vote. In that case, the mayor gets to vote.
Excuse me?
Wait a minute. Okay, so you're saying, okay.
What did,
When one half of the trustees, so 3 trustees vote in favor of the motion,
Right.
and there's no tie vote, the mayor gets to vote.
no,
Yes.
no, Attorney Bowling.
Trustee.
I'm asking
But
Attorney
you're
a
not gonna
question.
tell the man, he's.
No, I'm asking, Mayor, can I ask, this is corporate counsel. May I ask corporate counsel a question, sir?
But you didn't ask him a question, you said
I'm
no.
trying to ask him a
You
question.
said no.
I'm trying to ask corporate counsel a question.
Ask him a question, please
Now-
explain the diatribe.
Now, Attorney Bowling, we just had the same vote with 3 voting against something in favor of, and 2 voting not in favor of. So you're saying that you're trying to tell me, you're sitting up here saying to us that you are going to allow the mayor 2 votes. You're going to allow him to vote on something and then break a tie? That is exactly what you're saying, sir.
He's not saying that, there's no tie.
If you vote, then you will have to also break the tie. And that is still... That's right.
It's simple math. Read it to me. Read it to me. And if another vote is given, that makes a tie. Then you want to give him another vote to break
No,
the
yes,
tie.
that's exactly what you're
The
saying.
mayor have to
Mayor.
recognize.
The mayor is...
Mayor,
The mayor did not
You don't want
recognize
to
it,
keep
so.
on- are you gonna-
I still have the floor. I'm still in conversation with the attorney.
Okay,
First of all, she's
Are
interrupting.
you gonna let him speak?
Yes, me and him are speaking.
No, me and him are.
Yes, we are.
He's not saying, he hasn't said a word.
Because we were in
He
conversation.
hasn't said a word.
Attorney Bowling.
Mayor,
Wait a minute, trustee, please, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to recognize you, but if you're gonna get disrespect, I will not recognize you. Thank you. Don't tell me, please, let's move on. That's not your job. To tell me, please, let's move on. That's not your job. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Go ahead, Attorney Bowles. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Mayor,
Go ahead.
I am not saying you get to vote twice.
I know that.
You get to vote if there are 3 votes and there's not a tie. If you happen to vote no, there will be a tie, but that is not the initial, that's not the situation where you vote. That motion would just fail for lack of a concurrence.
I understand that, okay. But I choose. Are you? No, see, that's what I'm talking about, trustee. Would you please be quiet? Please, I'm asking you nicely. Next time I will ask, and as I said before, I won't recognize you. So you can sit there and do all as you want to, but you're not running this meeting. You're not going to take over and just say what you want to say. Then please be quiet. Please be quiet. Attorney, I choose not to. I choose not to. So I'm gonna let
I'm sorry.
the motion stand. Well, maybe we can get through with this meeting.
Yes.
The motion okay, I'm sorry. This is just, okay. I need a motion to approve the accounts payable in the amount of $525,966.93.
So,
Second.
It was moved by trustee Williams, second by trustee Carter. Any questions? I'm sorry, trustee Coleman. I'm sorry. Any questions? Madam Clerk.
Trustee Burns? Yes. Trustee Carter?
Yes.
Trustee Coleman?
Yes.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Sack? Trustee Williams?
yes.
Motion carried. I asked for, I don't know where this is coming from, the laptops, but that's something else that I think we need to put on we need to discuss it. I don't think it was discussed why it was that. In the committee that you guys had?
You were present.
I was there, but it was the committee that you guys had. The one that you guys called. It was the committee that you.
It was discussed in committee last week. That's the question I'm telling you. It was discussed in committee last week. Trustee Johnson suggested we use our phones. And so,
All I did was say, all I asked was that.
well, I'm bringing to your remembrance that it was discussed
I didn't say that it wasn't, I said, was it the committee meeting that you
It was
guys
discussed
called?
in committee.
Was it the one that the trustees called?
I just know it was discussed in committee.
Were you there?
I'm
Then I'm asking you, was it the one that the trustees?
It was the committee meeting
Okay.
that we just had last
Yes.
week.
It was discussed as the special committee.
That's what I-
meeting
that's
that
all I asked.
The trustees called.
Whatever committee meeting, it was discussed in
So
committee.
therefore, the mayor is asking, could we bring it to a regular committee meeting so the public can be able to hear what's going on?
Well, what I'm saying, what I'm saying is,
The public heard what was going
when
on,
I'm,
so I'm not sure what
He
we're
doesn't
talking
want
about.
it called
what
for
I'm
a
saying-
special meeting.
Why are you explaining what the mayor wants, trustee?
Because he just asked, and that's what it was.
Mayor Burgess asked me if it was brought to committee, and I said, yes, it was brought to committee. Now, committee, whether it is Tuesday committee or whatever special committee, it was brought to committee,
okay,
and it was
I get that.
acknowledged.
I
Thank
get
you.
that. Thank you. I didn't
Thank
ask
you.
a question.
No, and I answered you.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did answer you.
No, you didn't. I asked you a specific question. You
And
didn't.
yes, it was brought to committee,
No,
yes.
that's not what I asked you.
Okay, I'm not sure what you want me to say.
No, I know you don't.
It was brought to committee.
You should be listening.
It was brought to committee.
Anyway, I'm gonna ask that this particular one, because this calls us to go and look, and then we need to see the parameters of what we need to discuss. I think we need to discuss this a little bit further for the laptops. I mean, you do have two pieces, desktop computers here at the village. That can be used for it was brought to you for the trustees. So why we need laptops at this particular point in time, I need some more clarifications. And also, what is it that you're gonna use the laptops for?
May I speak, Mayor?
No.
You said you wanted clarification.
I said, this is the reason why I'm not going to bring it up. That's what I said.
No, I'm asking a question.
I'm not entertaining any questions.
No, I understand.
Because you're going back and forth.
No, I'm not going back and forth.
I know you're not, because I'm not gonna.
You just said you needed more clarification, so are you speaking of?
I said I'm going to ask to have this put on the agenda for next week at the committee.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. No, I'm just asking to have this, no, I'm not thinking of one, I'm gonna ask to have this table put on. Nothing, if I ask if I table it, then maybe won't say no anyway. I'm just gonna ask you what. Oh, you think so? You think so? I'm gonna bring it up at the next meeting. All right, okay, I know this is gonna be, but I'm gonna do it anyways on the agenda. I'll ask for general comments. I'll start with trustee, Coleman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It was brought up in public comments, I think the earlier meeting, as to why we having special meetings, when the very same items on the special meeting is on the regular meeting. But that's not true. Truth of the matter is, on tonight's meeting, this instant meeting right here, there are two more items that would not have been on Tuesday's meeting. Those two items were items that were requested to be put on by some trustees. Again, trustees should have equal rights as well as anyone else in the governing body to have items placed on the agenda. The reason why we keep having special meetings, and we're going to have to keep saying this to drive it home for the sake of new people who comes in, we don't want to mislead them into thinking that the trustees are doing something that's frugal or being wasted. Okay. So for the benefit of the people who don't know, we're having special meetings because the items that we request to be on the regular meeting are not put on the meeting. So we have to have a special meeting. And the special meeting not only puts our items on the agenda, but also includes Tuesday's items on the agenda as well. So that way, we do not miss any items, let alone ours. Secondly, we have a special meeting and we don't attend the Tuesday meeting because we do not choose to get paid twice. We're doing this so that we're saving money. Okay? We're not spending or being paid any extra time or anything extra. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Next, we got fighters here on this board. We have fighters. Fighters. They're fighting for the residents. They're fighting for the village. They're fighting for the survival of the village. What you hear mostly in public comments are scripted, pretty much scripted. You know how I know? Because I used to be in that same camp of the people who are doing it right now. I used to be right there, doing the same thing you're doing. When I first got here, guess what? I didn't know anything. They had to give me something written out to complain about. It's all scripted. It's all scripted. And so it's with that. I am here now. Now that I know what's going on, because I'm on this side, I know, I see, I hear some things that you don't hear or see. And it's for that reason I am where I am, doing what I do, which some of you may not approve of. But trust me when I say this, I am trying to do what's best for the residents of the village. Whether I get respected or disrespected does not bother me one bit. Because I'm not here for personal reasons. I'm here because I believe God loves this village. The key word is love. God loves this village. And those that love God love this village too. And those that love God love people. And love is not a feeling, it's a duty. It's a duty. So I'm just saying right now, I'm asking everyone who love, period, who have the capacity to love, to exemplify that in these meetings. It's easy to do if you're a person who loves. But if that's blocked up for whatever reason, it's blocked or bounded up, then then you may need some deliverance. But the bottom line is this here, you all. We have to run this village, and we're doing the best we can. And anyone who says differently is not being sincere. They're not being sincere. That's it. That's all I got to say.
Trustee Johnson.
No comment, Mr. Mayor.
Trustee Carter.
Got a little comment. For the rest of the trustees, these four up here, we hear the same thing every week. There's nobody new out there, so we don't have to preach to them. They already know what's going on. So I just want to say that concludes my thought.
Trustee Murray.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to piggyback off of Trustee Carter. He's absolutely right. We are here every week and it's the same, mostly the same people every week. And the same board every week. But we have a situation throughout the year, the same things keep happening over and over and over again. I am very disheartened what has happened this week. We have the clerk that, in her own admission, overstepped her bounds into the trustees area. We have abatements that I do the same time every single year. I wanted the mayor to explain what the abatements were, because they are extremely important, that we do not allow these abatements and these levies to not be paid in a timely manner and not always keep us at the 13th hour. The mayor explained to us that if we miss our obligations, all of that money is going to fall on the shoulders of the taxpayers. That is the reason why I really wanted him to break it down. That means that the clerk, the finance director, the treasurer, the mayor, the VA, none of these departments know when to bring forth these extremely important business matters to the trustees. It is the responsibility of all the entities that I just mentioned to bring these matters to the trustees, because we have to vote on it. But year after year after year, 20 years, the mayor has been in political position. 2017, the clerk has been here. All of these people, and every single time, it's the same thing. Now, the trustees, when we were told that these abatements, again, at the 13th hour, if we don't pay them on Tuesday, it's gonna be on the show. We know our jobs. We know that we need to vote on legislation, but it's the job of these entities to get the legislation to the trustees. If they don't get it to the trustees are not able to vote. And if we don't vote, legislation does not pass. So what is going on with the mayor, the clerk, the finance director, the VA, the treasurer? What's going on with everyone in the financial position or record-keeping position that no one ever brings this very extreme important business to the trustees in a timely fashion? And there should be records. There should be records. So I'm gonna have to speak louder because they're talking over me. There should be records in the office of the clerk of every single important item that the trustees need to be informed about and brought to legislation. So again, I do not appreciate as the trustee that clerks and other trustees are going to social media acting like the trustees was not handling their business. That's why we're here tonight. We did handle our business in order to get this meeting on the record and get this legislation passed. Period. So to go out and preemptively speak what you don't know, if you didn't speak to every single trustee on this board, you have no right to go to public social media or spread lies on the trustees, to spread lies, and to make it look like the trustees were not trying to do their job, and in fact we were. We cannot sit up here and lie on the trustees. The trustees was getting a meeting together and getting packages together the whole time. And you all went out there on social media and put erroneous information out there because you overstepped your bounds. Stay in your place as we have to stay in ours. Everyone needs to do their place. If the clerk would follow her business, we would not be going through this because she would inform the mayor as the clerk when every major important business needs to be brought before the trustees. But many people are busy minding other people's businesses instead of focusing on theirs. And I'm going to say that because every year we keep going through the same thing over and over again. So this, I bet we won't have to do it again because I guarantee you it's going to be a record in the office of the clerk when these important matters need to be brought before the trustee in a timely manner. So my next statement is, any person in any business that is on that accounts payable can be named. Now, if people or businesses are going in their own name, I have nothing to do with that. But again, the business Sonia Douglas is on our accounts payable, and that name can be named because it's a business that is asking the trustees to approve payment. So I just want to make sure that Trustee Johnson understands that. Now, by the clerk stepping in
again
and minding our business, as she said, as the clerk said, she was out of order and she overstepped. She said, I'm stating what they're saying.
Too much.
I'm stating what they're saying.
You can be the dumbest one up here. You're doing too much.
Who
cares, William?
So the clerk?
No.
Your trustee. Motion adjourned.
Thank you.